That's earlier on, but later on though, there's a couple of belts sitting in front of us. And that one right there, I know the woman sitting next to you would love to get her hands on that. A New South Wales title fight, Mai Soliman, you're up against Bec Moss. It's an Australasian, it's the Australasian women's flyweight title. My apologies. 6-2. What a chance. You had great support here a couple of months ago when you last fought. They were very noisy, your supporters.
Yeah, it was a big turn up for my first pro fight.
Mm-hmm. And now, to be fighting for a strap so early in your career, how's it feel?
It feels amazing actually. Second pro fight, Australasian belt. That's what I need, that's what I want. I don't want to waste time. I want to, each fight I want to get a step closer to, eventually a world title. So having the Australasian belt for my second pro fight is, amazing. And it's good for my resume.
How big was the decision to turn pro? You've been matched by Paul, I'm sure, as an amateur as well, but the decision to turn pro, did it come easy to you?
My style speaks for itself, so I've got a pro style since when I've been in amateurs. I've always known that I'm more suited to the pros, and that's probably the best decision I've ever made.
And the question I asked down the road a moment ago, was the nerves different for you? The first time being paid, more expectation, massive crowd here to cheer you on. It was a great fight too, but what were the nerves like?
I've actually had a lot of pressure on me in the first fight, but I aced it. I got the win. Had a good crowd with me. Had a good support team, friends, family, sponsors. Everyone was here, so it felt good.
And the woman that you beat, Ali Jensen, she had well over 14, 15 Muay Thai fights. She'd been in combat sports for a long while. She brought some reputation with her. What sort of confidence did you take out of that win?
Ali brought the fight. She had a lot of experience, as you said. A lot of Muay Thai fights. She's been trained by John Wayne Park. It's a great gym. She's got great teammates. As well, she's had about 3-4 pro fights before fighting me. So she had the experience on me. She knew what was what to expect in the ring. Meanwhile, I didn't know what was going to happen in my first pro fight. So getting that win, really, gave me a lot of confidence after this fight. So it's good to see where we're sitting at.
Yeah. And what's it like to sit that close to the belt? Can't touch it yet, but.
I want it. I want it really bad, and God willing, it will be mine Friday night, and then on to the next one there, and then hopefully, I would love to see women's boxing change and turn from 2 minutes to 3 minutes eventually. I think women can do the same as what men can do. There's no difference. You look at the UFC, and women are doing 5x5. Same as the men, for a championship belt.
I don't think there's anyone that disagrees with you. Is there anyone that disagrees with that? But if you look at the Olympics, and you've got, just say for example, swing events, they now all swim exactly the same events. Women are swimming 1500s, just as the men do. Why shouldn't you be fighting threes? And also, sorry, Paul.
The trainer Euro would have a 5-minute rounds if he's in the same way.
I was about to ask you that, Euro, but why shouldn't you? Because the other thing is, you describe yourself as having a pro style. The 3 minutes gives you more time to work into a round, work your opponent out, doesn't it?
100%. It gives me more time to show who I really am. I can work more and eventually hurt my opponent. 2 minutes. By the time you hurt your opponent, the bell rings and it's the round's over. 3 minutes. Halfway through and you hurt them and you can kind of knock them out. But I always think women can work the same as men, and eventually we can get the same exposure we deserve as the men,
Well, let's talk about Europe and Europe Army What's the dark side. What have you learned in working with me and how you evolved? And I'd be really interested in the last month and a half since that last fight, because obviously you got straight back into the gym.
Yeah. So after the last fight, we got straight back in, started working straight away. The best thing is with Euro, he loves to fix the small things. Each sparring we do is working on the small thing, and the next week we're eventually getting better. Like, we didn't even go backwards, we're always going forward. So I'm very grateful to have a coach like Republic, you know.